Hello and good morning. I hope it wasn't too bad when I missed last week. I've been really busy these past few weeks, but I should be okay now. And I'm really happy to be continuing. Once again, this is Salem with Brunch and Build, the show where I eat Gundam and decide how good they are for brunch. Yeah. In case you guys couldn't tell by the sudden break, I've been in the midst of like finals for the past 2 weeks, and last week I just had like three projects. I mean, actually I finished one of them, but I had like two projects that were all due within a few days. And I was like, I just really need to wake up early on Friday and spend all day working. But I have now, I'm done with the semester, so I have a lot more free time now. And yeah, happy National Stream Day! We are celebrating. I believe there's, a lot going on. I believe there's a lot going on today for National Stream Day. And I hope you're all able to enjoy it too. But yeah. Oh, okay. I'm sure there's just like things going on in general for National Stream Day, but that's really fun. But yeah, to continue on with, in case you forgot where our progress has been made in the perfect grade thus far. Last week we finished up the second arm, did all the wiring, so now the main body has been complete. All the wiring is done, the arms, all the limbs and the torso and the waist are all done. All that's left is the head. And so that's what we're gonna do today. And the head is not that is not like a ton of steps. So there is a chance that we'll finish the head. Actually, oh yeah, there's also the backpack bit. The backpack bit is fine, and then there's the weapons. So basically, hmm, it's flipped. I mean, oh yeah. Usually my camera's usually my camera at least is flipped vertically, so everything looks right side up instead of upside down, but I guess that comes at the cost of like text is backwards. Because if I flipped it back, then everything would be upside down. But yeah, hopefully we'll get done with the head today, and then honestly, I don't think the head is gonna take that long, so if there's time, we'll be starting on like the backpack thing and all just the little like weapons and accoutrements and things like that. Oh, okay. If I flip it horizontally, let's try doing that. Flip vertically. Can I flip it horizontally? Let's see. Oh, here we go. Flip horizontal. Okay. Is it right? Oh! It's the right side now. Well, that solved something. I didn't even realize I could do that. I didn't even realize I could do that. Now all the text is the correct direction. And it's not upside down, which is pretty good, I would say. Those are all good things. But yeah, today we will be finishing the head. basically the main body will be done today, and then it's just all the little extra bits and pieces, the backpack, the weapons, and all that stuff. So I'll probably also get started on those today. I'm debating how much of that I want to do on stream, because it's really just like the main base piece, and like the weapons I'll probably like do on stream just because they're fun. But yeah, like the backpack and the weapons I'll probably do on stream just because they're fun. But depending on like how much you guys are interested in, because I'm probably gonna do the whole psychoframe transformation, and then I'm gonna decide like how much, really, if I want to panel line at all. Because like originally I was probably gonna panel line this. I mean, I still might, but most of the pieces on there are already like separate panels. Especially like once I see it like in psychoframe mode and everything's all separated, I might decide like there's not really anything to panel line, but I feel like there are still some little minor details and whatnot that could be panel lined, and I'll decide if I want to do that. And then thus, if anyone's interested, I might do that. Panel lining I might do off stream, but I'm not too sure, because like just depends on if it's like interesting, because panel lining is a lot of like really fine. I have to be like really close to the piece itself. Yo, what's up? I just finished my exams. I am free to build Gundam. I'm very happy. I literally have like a bunch of kits. Well, of course I get to finish the perfect grade unicorn, like all that. Right now we're just working on the head. Yeah, I'm really happy. I'm so happy to finally be free, at least for this semester. It has been pretty rough because I'm in kind of like a combined program for undergrad and masters. So I've been taking undergrad. I've been finishing my undergrad classes, but also taking I also took a master's class this semester. Man, it was a time. You can really tell actually my master's class that I took this semester wasn't actually too bad. It was a really interesting class. It was about like the mathematical models behind like programming algorithms, because you can have like programming algorithms that solve for like really complicated math and stuff, but there's actual math that goes into it, and that class is dedicated to studying the actual math so we could better understand the algorithms. Oh, both my bachelor's and master's are in mechanical engineering and with a concentration in aerospace, so it's more like I kind of just say like mechanical aerospace. It's been really nice to finally see like the end of the tunnel. Not really. I mean, I'm still working on my master's, so I've still got like a solid year or two left in the school. Still got like a solid year or two left in schooling. But it's pretty nice though to kind of know that know that it'll be over. Like I have a time knowing that it will be over, which is quite nice. Where did I just cut these two pieces from? This is 2 and 3. Yeah, this is 2 and 3. This is what I was supposed to cut. I love that this is, you know, back to the classic me building Gundam experiences. Already forgetting which pieces I've snipped. This is just how it is. Man, I would love to work for NASA. NASA, if you're listening, if you're out there watching random Gundam streams and you're listening and you want to give me a job, I'm right here. I always will be. But yeah, I actually do want to go into like, because my degree is in aerospace, and like there's a lot of aerospace in like the commercial sector and like military contracting. Like there's a lot of like private and military contracting for aerospace. So there's definitely a lot of like jobs in that, but what I actually want to do is like astronomical research. So NASA is basically exactly what I want to do. And so yeah, maybe someday I'll be able to build a Star Destroyer. I feel like that would be pretty fun. Mainly my mm-hmm. Yeah. Out here it's more military like and private than it is in research for aerospace. So for now at least, once I like at least like right now cuz I'm going to be working a little bit, but once I'm like really in the field, for at least for a little bit, I'll probably be in like a private sector just because realistically that's what my options are out here. But honestly, I'm not sure what I'll do, you know? The classic. The classic like I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I'm just gonna see what happens. Oh yeah, definitely. I looked a lot into California and whatnot. I've actually never been to California. Surprisingly, there's a lot of places like I've never been west of Missouri. Yeah, I had to go to St. Louis. I had to go to St. Louis once. But besides that, I've never been like further west than that, which is kind of funky considering I've like traveled internationally set like not I don't want to say many times because it's not like I do it all the time, but I've traveled internationally like a fair amount of times, mostly to like, the Middle East and Asia, but I've never been further west than Missouri. Oh my god, yeah. To work for JPL is like my dream job. That would be amazing. Yeah, that's like what JPL does. It's so cool. I always love following like all the news that happens out of JPL, especially since like, they just I mean, James Webb was launched a while ago, but it's up there now. But it's up there now doing its job and it's so exciting to like see all of it happening and honestly like it just seems so cool. Just knowing that is what makes this my suffering in engineering school worth it. Once again. Okay. This piece is oriented that way. I know which way it goes. I think. Yeah. I'm just not sure how. Okay. I think it goes like that. But yeah. I hope you've all had hopefully less difficult week than I have. It's, you know, oh my god. I am. This might come as a shock to you guys, but I am actually not really for like. I mean, I'm theoretically. I have nothing against like commercial space travel. Like if people want to go to space and do fun stuff out there, I think that's great. There's nothing wrong with that inherently. But what I don't like is like the hyper commercialization of it. You know? Like Bezos is not great because he's kind of just doing it for the sake of doing it. I mean, it's not inherently that bad because like the whole thing with like Virgin Galactic and Blue Origin, I think their whole thing is they just want to like have space tourism, which is whatever as long as, well, again, I say as long as when we all know how capitalism works and that this will most likely happen is they'll absolutely like do the same thing they do on Earth out there, which is just pollute like there's no tomorrow without any regard for the larger good. But on surface level, I have nothing really against commercial space travel. What I don't like is like, yeah, space built. I cannot wait for capitalism in outer space. I can't wait to see capitalism in outer space because that's what we all want. But yeah, what really grinds my gears though is like space colonialism. I'm like, I know this may come as a shock, but I cannot stand Elon Musk. I would rather like, man, and it's rough considering how many like engineers absolutely love him. Engineering bros are a different, are like a different level of like worshiping Elon Musk. I don't get it. Truly I do not. This man advocates for like space colonialism, which is just like such a non-solution. It's just such a non-solution. Like it benefits one, I feel like even with just like minimal consideration, like clearly this is not something that will benefit majority, like the majority of human beings. It'll benefit whoever can afford to go live on Mars, which is not most people. And even then, all it does, it doesn't actually fix like what's wrong, you know? Like all you're doing is buying some time. Like all you want to do, so like the plan is to just continue one, like it's not like Earth is unsalvageable. Earth's a pretty hardy planet. Like it's not like it's unsalvageable. But it's like, well, we're giving up. We're just gonna continue doing what we do and sapping as many resources as possible from Earth until it's literally unusable. And it's like, that's kind of messed up. I don't want to have to live through that. Especially considering like, okay, so your solution, right, is to just do it again on a different planet with even less resources than Earth. Can't wait to see how well that's gonna go. It's really wild, and yeah, it's just gonna be billboards in space. I'm like, I hate. It really does, right? I feel like every time I hear something about Elon Musk, he just sounds more and more like a cartoon villain. I just cannot stand that man. I really cannot. This is 18 and 19. I 18. This is the eye runner, and I just snipped 18 and 19. Oh no, I didn't snip 18 and 19. Yep, this sounds about right. Okay, I have to snip 18 and... Oh, that's 18 and 19. I was blind. I was blind. I continue to be blind. As you can see in my little chibi avatar, I wear glasses. This is accurate to real life. Those actually look, man, once again shout out to the wonderful artist who made this. Actually really accurate with how my hair and my glasses are. But I am in fact quite blind. I wonder if I can like convey this on stream. We're gonna take off my glasses for a brief moment. See, look at these are, see, you see how that's basically exactly what my glasses are. I have extremely thick lenses. I don't know how well, again, I cannot see whatsoever. I mean, barely, but I have very thick lenses. I'm very blind without my glasses. And so sometimes I do struggle. I really should update my prescription. It's been, I think it's been like a solid, I don't think I've updated my prescription since like 2019. Yeah, see, I hope my forgetfulness can serve as a reminder to all of you glasses wearers. Because I've forgotten to update my prescription in like 2 or 3 years. I really should do that. Yeah, I think my the number prescription for me in my eyes are like, one of them is like -6 and the other one's like -6.5. I have pretty rough eyesight, pretty terrible eyesight. Just get new eyes. Thank you. Thank you for your advice. That will be taken into consideration. I will consider just obtaining new eyeballs. Yeah, I'm like blind. I've worn glasses. I have astigmatism, which means it wasn't means I was just born like this. My eyesight just I when I was a kid, I needed reading glasses, and like when I was like really little, like when I was like 5 or 6, I needed reading glasses, and then it just kept getting worse because that's how astigmatism works. And by the time I was like 8 or 9, I started wearing permanent glasses, and it just my prescription just you know changed every few years or so. Though luckily now I'm old enough that my prescription doesn't change as much as it used to. But I do still have to like be a little bit mindful and get my prescription checked every few years or so. And I just remember that I have to do that. I'm just gonna hop on Amazon, order some new glasses from good old Mr. Bezos, and hope that he doesn't like actually take the rest of my organs too. Unfortunately, I do need the rest of them. Okay, this goes in a direction that I do not understand. This goes in a direction. Okay, okay. We're gonna get my tweezers, because I think I will need them. Actually, not these ones. We're gonna use these ones. Because I would like to actually see where I'm putting this, because I cannot really... Based off the picture, it's kind of difficult to like actually understand the orientation this has to be in. I think it's like this way? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's this way. I'm pretty sure it's this way. I'm just not sure how I'm actually supposed to put this in there. Oh, wait, I think I get it. I think I get it. I might understand. I might understand something. Wait. Oh. I might be wrong. I take it back. I take it back. Whatever credit I gave myself, removed. Wait. What direction is this even supposed to go in? Oh, I might be using the wrong one. Oh. It was going in the wrong direction. Okay, that makes more sense now. We're gonna see if this is... I'm pretty sure this is supposed to go in here somehow. That is my understanding, is that this is supposed to go in there somehow. Not quite sure how. But we're getting there, one step at a time. It goes this way. Yeah, it goes this way, and then you see this little... I know this is the correct piece, just the illustration does not do a fantastic job of illustrating, like, the actual... Oh, wait, I think I get it. I think I got it. I think I got it. I got it! Okay, I got the first one. I understand what's happening now. There we go. I understand what's happening now. I get it. I get it. We've done it. I figured something out. We've reached this. There we go. There we go. Look at that. He's got little visor. I'm pretty sure these are visor bits, because this is for the head. I'm pretty sure these are little visor bits. I'm gonna put my tweezers back. But yeah. Sometimes I will struggle. I've probably already done it. I've definitely already done it, but once in a while I will struggle to read something. Just cause like a lot of this text is really small and I really should update my prescription. It's not that bad, like I can still see just fine, but from time to time there's some really small like detail things that I miss, or I just have to like... What I do is I just when I'm working on like Gundam or something, I just will hold the piece like really close to my face. Because it's not, I know you're not supposed to hold screens really close to your face. I know that's bad for you. But I think if I just hold like a Gundam piece really close to my head, I think it's fine. I mean, it's plastic. The worst that can happen. I mean, I wear glasses. Don't worry. I have more pairs of safety glasses than I think a human being should ever need. Just because every time I have I also have like the special safety glasses that are meant to go over, like layer over glasses. Um because every time I would lose my safety glasses super often. And then I'd get a new pair of safety glasses. And then I would find my old pair of safety glasses. And I'll be like, well, guess I have two safety glasses now. And then that just kept happening. And so now I have so many pairs of safety glasses, more than a human being needs. So don't worry, my eyeballs are perfectly safe. Oh, this is the, I'm like, what? This doesn't look right. I need the Q runner. I need the Q runner. I need both of the Q18. Ah, oh, this is a really small piece. Oh my god. This is tiny. Well, I guess that makes sense for the head. The head is not nearly as big as like the arms or the legs. A lot of the pieces for like the arms and the legs were like massive compared to what I'm used to for Gundam. I've definitely mentioned this before, but this is my first perfect grade. The biggest thing I've built previous to this is like a standard master grade. I like master grades. Master grades are fun, but I actually have a really fun master grade plan to do on stream sometime. I think I know what, now that we're almost done with the unicorn, we're in the final stretch. I have a few ideas for what I would like to do next. I have some ideas for what I would like to do next, and I'm pretty excited. I'm really excited. I mean, I'm not doing another perfect grade right now, but I think it's gonna be fun to like mix it up. I'm not gonna spoil anything because I think it's better if you just, you know, watch and see what we're planning next. But I've got a few things going on. There's one that, so I have been really wanting to get into like custom painting and stuff. And of course it is now summertime, so I will have some free time. I will have more free time. And so I'm hopefully, if the opportunity, if things work out, I will probably try and dip my toe into custom building. And there's one kit that I have that I've got that I think would be perfect, that like I want to like custom paint this thing so bad, because like it's a beautiful kit, but I'm not like the biggest fan of the like actual, like the original colors of it. Like it's a beautiful kit, but I'm not like the biggest fan of the colors, and I think it will be really fun to do some custom building with it. And so hopefully you can do that, and you guys will be here with my, yeah, we'll be here on my journey. Marker, oh, like the Gundam markers? I actually am not a huge fan of the Gundam markers. If I were to do custom painting, I'd probably do more like airbrush painting, which I'm not sure how the logistics of which would work on stream. I can probably figure something out. But, you know, I'm actually not the biggest fan of Gundam markers. I have a couple. Like, I have my toolbox right now. I've got a few Gundam markers. I just am not, I don't know why. Like, I have a panel lining marker. I tried using like markers to panel line, and I'm not a huge fan of it. I actually, the way I panel line is really it's kind of funky. I prefer to panel line with like a calligraphy pen with, because I have jars of, I just buy, you can buy like just jars of panel liner ink, just jars of panel liner ink, and so I just use a calligraphy nib to panel line because I just feel like it's easy for me. It's easier to use. That's because I've been learning how to do calligraphy for a couple years now. For me, it just feels easier to use, and like I like the precision that it offers me. I'm kind of a huge perfectionist, and I really like the precision that it offers me. I actually have like, man, I right now I really only use like I just use like the Koinor. I don't know what that means. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, I do my panel lining with a calligraphy nib, and I was actually just talking earlier about how I'm thinking about panel lining the unicorn. I might do that. I might do that next week. I'm considering it. First, I'm gonna do the whole like psycho frame transformation, and I'll see how much I like it like unpanel line. Because honestly, like almost all of it is segmented panels anyway, so there's not that much of a need to panel line. Basically, everything on there are already segmented panels. Ah, I know. I use the at least for panel lining stuff, I use the Tamiya. I use the little Tamiya jars of pigment paint ink. Yeah, I use the little Tamiya ink jars. Oh, now I get to use the pieces I accidentally cut out earlier, thinking they were different pieces. Okay. I need B4. Oh yeah, this is the runner that has the little pilot on it. Look, there he is. Oh wait, man, the amount of detail even on the little pilot guy is kind of insane. Wait. Yeah, I mean, we'll get to look at him more when it's time to take him out. Ah, that's pretty cool. I don't really use calligraphy for like drawing. I mostly do like, I guess, traditional. I mostly use like, what's it? I mostly use like, when, pretty basic inks. I consider myself still like a beginner with calligraphy, at least with ink dip calligraphy. I still consider myself kind of a beginner at it. Like, I've been doing it for a couple years, but honestly, I still consider myself fairly like inexperienced because there's just always so much to learn. Ah, London Bell. So oh, Londo Bell. He's the pilot. Oh, man, I'm exposing myself for never having finished Gundam Unicorn. You know what? Now that I have free time in celebration of completing, I mean, I'm probably going to be finishing like the main body today since all that's left is the head. But in celebration of completing the perfect grade, I'm gonna finally I'm gonna finish Gundam Unicorn. I'll stop being a fake fan. I'll finish Gundam Unicorn. Ah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And now I put this in here. And there we go. We have this little Pfizer piece. Okay. Okay. But yeah, you know what? I'll stop being a fake fan. I'm gonna finish Gundam Unicorn, the anime. It's an OVA. Hopefully, I mean, I don't remember how many episodes are in it. I think I watched like 1 or 2 before I started streaming, like before I did this. And I know it's good. I just haven't finished it. Ah. I also, once again, have dropped a piece. Oh, okay, we found it. We found it. We're good. Okay. Okay. Ah. I've heard a lot of good things about it. So, I would like to finish it. I would like to finish it. And also, I feel like it's right. I feel like I should, considering I'm making a perfect grade unicorn, and I've also made a real grade unicorn. Oh, hydration. Oh, shoot. I actually forgot to bring my water bottle. Give me 1 moment, and I will go get my water bottle. I have returned with the hydration implement. That's a weird way to say water bottle. I'm not gonna do that again. But as always, thank you for reminding me to hydrate. Oh no, I've ruined the integrity of your stream because I forgot to go get water and I had to go get some. I know, I'm terrible. Okay. Now I get to figure out where the hell these little bits go. Because honestly, I have no idea. I also feel like there's an important instruction here in Japanese. Oh, part of it's in hiragana, so I know what it says. But I also don't. I could just read it, but I don't really know what it actually means in context because there's some kanji and there's a bunch of kanji in there too. Man, pre-orders. I haven't been able to pick up any new Gundam in a hot minute. Partially because I have a bunch already that I've been meaning to build, but also just like I just have had zero time, like none at all. So I haven't really had a chance to check out a lot of the like new releases and all that have come out in the past couple weeks. Ah. That makes sense because I was just reading the hiragana over here and it said kirei ni, which is like pretty or nice. I was like, I wonder what I know it means something else in this context, but according to our good friend Google Translate, which is probably not 100% accurate, but it means something more of like cut it cleanly, which is to make sure these pieces are cut very like smooth and cleanly, which is fun. I like learning things about languages. I've been trying to learn. I've been learning Japanese, in the process of learning Japanese for a little while now. But yeah, sorry for once again the tangent. I haven't had a chance to pick up a lot of the pre-orders, but if you've picked up anything cool, you should definitely let me know because I have not had time to check anything out. But if you have anything interesting that you've seen that's up for pre-order right now, let me know. I'll definitely check it out. Yeah, like it means to cut it like cut cleanly, which makes sense. Like kirei ni. Well, I can't really read the rest of that, but it's like masu kirei ni masu. Yeah, which like I guess that does make sense. I like learning. There's a lot of little like quirks in other languages and whatnot that like I don't know that just like not everything translates perfectly, you know? There's like little words that are used in like a few different ways that don't necessarily make sense in English, but make sense in the context of the language. And it's always fun to like learn these things. Like I guess in Japanese it says kirei ni, which is also a word that's used for like pretty or like nice. So it means like cut it cleanly, but it's like cut it in a nice way. I feel is what it more means. That's fun and interesting. I like that about languages. Ooh, you picked up three. Which ones did you end up getting? I know a few that there's like a few that I've looked at in the past like month or so that I know exist and that will be existing at some point and that I am interested in, but I haven't been able to pick up anything new. Oh no, rest in peace. No caps allowed. Yeah. Yeah, that's the I was like learning about languages, especially since like I feel like it's easier to learn languages if you kind of have like a bridge language. Like of course I speak English even though I feel like sometimes I forget I can speak English fluently, or sometimes it's kind of doesn't always feel like I can speak English fluently, but I can in fact speak English, which might come as a shock to you, but I can. But I also speak some South Asian languages. Like I grew up speaking Bengali, and I also know like bits and pieces of like Hindi and stuff like that. And like I had to learn Arabic at one point, even though I was a terrible child, and I forgot most of the Arabic I learned as a kid. And I regret it now as an adult, since it would be way harder for me to learn now. But like, yeah, I feel like the fact that even though like Bengali and South Asian languages are in a completely different like branch of languages than Japanese is, because like South Asian languages are more like Arabic based, they're more Sanskrit based. Like that's the model they tend to follow, as the patterns they tend to follow, while like Japanese and East Asian languages are wildly different. I still think like knowing knowing other like knowing South Asian languages is really helpful for me, at least, just because like there's a lot of little nuances, like the whole concept of like honorifics and like verb conjugation based off of like who you're talking to. Like that's not really something that is in English, but it is something in Bengali, and also something kind of similar which is also in Japanese. And so I think that like it helps me understand that concept better. And so, yeah. MG Sniper 2. Ooh, full mechanics. Calamity Gundam and Gundam X Impulse. All of those sound really cool, and I will definitely be looking them up. I think this goes this way. Wants me to connect it. I'm not sure how it wants me to actually connect this piece. I feel like it goes in this little bit over here. Yeah, there's a few East Asian languages that also do that. That have the kind of like the honorific system. Um, Bengali doesn't necessarily. I mean, Bengali kind of has an honorific system. It's like, yeah, I guess so. You do address people based off of like how you see them, like it's based on, obviously like is based off of age, but it's also a little bit based off of familiarity. Like there's a different way you speak to like an older person that you're like close with or you're like family with versus like an older person that's a stranger to you. And like the one strangers are obviously like much more formal speech, but it really depends on the context. And even then, I feel like a lot of languages do this, where if you're, it's one thing like, yeah, you're supposed to be saying a lot of like the prepositions, like the you and the me, like usually that's the formal way of speaking, but in like actual day-to-day talking, like no one actually talks like that. Basically, assert dominance by using informal you. But like, man, I don't know how to explain it in English, but it just feels wrong. Like if I were to talk to like my grandmother, or my grandmother I actually speak pretty informally too, because I'm pretty close with my grandmother, but like if it's like a if it's like a what's it? I don't know, if it's like an older person I'm not familiar with, it just feels wrong. Like I can't get myself to do it. It's like almost, it's not as bad as like swearing or anything like that, but it just feels wrong. And hello gunpla friends. My day's actually going pretty good. Oh man, I woke up this morning at 8:30 in the morning to loud music outside. Like at 8:30 a.m., like blasting loud music, and I'm like, what's happening? At first, I'm very annoyed by it because I got woken up by loud music. Doesn't exactly make me very happy. But yeah, at first I was annoyed, but then I listened to it a little more and I'm like, oh, it's there's an event happening. The music is actually pretty good because I realized after like I went back to sleep, but later when I woke up, I realized it was South Asian music. Like it was like South Asian like wedding music. There's definitely a South Asian wedding happening like basically right outside my apartment, which I'm not that surprised by. It's a really nice area, so like I know there are like people, I've seen people have weddings before, so I'm not too surprised. But usually the weddings are on like weekend evenings and whatnot when weddings tend to happen. But I've realized now, oh, there's a South Asian wedding happening nearby. Everything makes sense now. And I don't know how familiar you guys are with what South Asian weddings are like, but we go really, really insane on weddings. We go really insane on weddings. It's like pretty crazy. And yeah, the music is bopping. I couldn't really be mad at it anymore because I like South Asian weddings. All of my family weddings are obviously like South Asian weddings, and so I'm pretty used to them. Like I can't tell you how like I don't know how to I don't want this to like sound bad, but when I learned what like Western, like American and like European weddings are like, well, not maybe not like traditional European, but like Western style weddings are like, I'm like, this is so, I don't want to say boring because that's kind of rude. I wouldn't say it's boring. Like I know, of course, celebrations are celebrations, but just like it just seems a lot less extravagant, you know? I I used to watch like what's it, like the some of those like reality TV I appreciate the permission to say boring. It still feels a little wrong to say boring, but like I don't know. I learned that there's like a thing that there are people, not everyone, but like there are some people that like want minimalist, like that go for weddings that are like minimalist. And I'm not saying like a wedding that's like, you know, a small gathering. Like honestly, like personally, I prefer small, like a small gathering. Just having to worry about so many people just seems stressful to me. But so I'm not talking about like people that want to get married in a small ceremony and oh my god, that sounds so much fun. That sounds like a lot of fun. See, that's why I don't want to say all like American weddings are like that, because that sounds really fun. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff that we do at South Asian weddings. Is it's like an insane, like the fact that you would want to like I understand for personal reasons if people want like a small wedding, but like if you're going, yeah, be extra. You're so valid. You should totally be. I fully support being extra, but like, yeah. But if you're going through the hassle of like actually planning a big wedding party, if you're like actually planning like a whole wedding, because I get if you want like a small ceremony, you know, that's live your life, whatever you're comfortable with. But like people that like actually, you know, have like a ceremony and reception and all that and go for like a minimalist theme makes no sense to me. I'm like, this is a wedding. You're supposed to be celebrating, you know? Like South Asian weddings, like if you think, man, South Asian weddings are a different level of extra. It's, oh man. Like once I realized that this is a South Asian wedding, the fact that they're blasting like they have like the live, like you can hear the live drums and everything at like 9 in the morning. I'm like, you know what? This makes sense now. They're doing like the I'm pretty sure they're doing like the first groom's procession. Because the other thing about South Asian weddings is they're like week-long affairs. There's a lot of ceremonies and a lot of steps that go into South Asian weddings. It's literally just like that's why I feel like, you know, Western weddings are a little bit less extravagant, because I'm like, for us, a wedding is a week-long party. Like there's just so much going on. There's like I don't know how familiar you guys are with like Bollywood and stuff, but that is very much the energy that is South Asian weddings. Yeah, I know a lot of different cultures have like a lot of their own crazy customs and whatnot, and I always think that's super interesting. Yeah, I've heard Jewish weddings also go really hard, and it's really cool. But yeah, for South Asian weddings though, there's like choreographed Bollywood numbers. Lights and there's like lights and flowers, and like it's insane. There's like the music and the dancing and the food and everything. Like every single aspect is maximalist to the extreme. Every single aspect of a South Asian wedding is as maximalist as you can be. And I love that about my culture. You know what? That one's also valid. I can respect small ceremonies. A Vegas wedding with a Nicolas Cage lookalike as your officiant, also extremely valid. I don't want this to come off like I'm insulting other people's weddings. Obviously, it's a personal experience. Live your best life. Oh my god. It's extremely common in South Asian weddings to have like several choreographed dance numbers. Oh my god, yeah. I feel like I know Nicolas Cage has kind of been his career's been in a spot lately. I think he's on like Cameo or something. So maybe if you could get the real Nicolas Cage to officiate, you know what? If you can get the real Nicolas Cage to officiate your wedding, you can have, that just sounds amazing. Yeah, it sounds amazing. You can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter what else is in your wedding now. You got Nicolas Cage there. I've also just been thinking, I'm sorry, I've just been staring at how, like, interesting this runner is. It's, I just love looking at runners that's just different colored plastics. I'm pretty sure that's like a fairly, I don't want to say recent, because I think it was like in the past decade or so, but like runners with different colored plastics weren't always a thing. Like it took a while till production was at a point where, you know, they could make reliably make runners in like mass releases that have different colored plastics, which I think is really cool, and that they get to do that now. And I look at it and I'm like, this is so cool. He has a new movie? I'm sorry, I've just been really out of the loop when it comes to most media things. You know what? If Nicolas Cage's new movie is good, I'm very happy for him. James, the legendary James Earl Jones to officiate it. You know what? That also sounds like an amazing time. He's in a movie where they do government espionage. That's funky. You know what? I don't know what movie this is. Hello. And yes, I am streaming from tabletop. This is the tabletop gaming. I think that's what sometimes I feel a little bit illiterate. Tabletop Gaming Center, yes. That's what that acronym is. I think that's what you're referring to, and yes. Ah. Oh, so they have had multiple, like, they have had like multiple colored plastics before. That's pretty cool. Cause usually I'm just really used to like not seeing, I haven't seen that many kits that do like multiple colored plastics on the same runner. I just haven't seen that many of them. So I feel like I just felt like it was more of a recent thing. Or I feel like in production, it is probably expensive to do in production. So it would make sense if they just like, even if they've been able to do it for a while, it makes sense that they just don't do it as often. Because I feel like it probably would be kind of expensive to do in production. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm in a different location because I do live out of state, but I'm streaming from my location over here onto the tabletop gaming channel because I am originally I'm from Connecticut, and I went to tabletop gaming. I quite enjoyed the tabletop gaming center, even though I live out of state for a lot now. Even though I mostly live out of state these days, it is still really nice. Ah. Yeah, this is the WA runner. So that does make sense. Huh. Yeah. I kind of want to go through my other kits now, and I'm probably gonna watch out for that now that I know that's like a thing. Well, it's like a pattern, I guess, that, you know, a runner tends to be the if there's a multicolored runner, it tends to be the A runner. I always love like learning about other, I know this seems very typical. Seems very typical considering I am a mechanical engineering major, but I do like learning about other like, you know, mechanical processes and things like that. I always think it's interesting. Surprise, surprise. It's almost like I'm going to school for engineering. Oh. Ah, yeah. The gaming center itself does have a very good selection of Gundam. That's where I get like a good bit of my supplies actually. Where I've gotten a good bit of my supplies actually. Oh, mobile suit skirmisher. That's pretty cool. Oh, wait. It's time. We're on the step. We're on the step where we get to make his unicorn horn. Oh, thank you. Thank you to Heather for the gifted sub. Oh man, where'd I put my scissors? We get to build the unicorn horn. It's happening. Look, it's still in this. I didn't take it out because I was afraid it's like packaged with like a cardboard backing. I'm assuming because it's probably pretty fragile and having it knocking around in the box just loose with all the other runners will probably damage it. So it was like kept in. I've been keeping it in the plastic with the cardboard backing. But now, it's finally time to assemble the unicorn horn, and I need to find my scissors. Ooh. Oh yeah, there's magnets in here. Oh man, this kit is so cool. Yeah, because it snaps together. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. We're gonna do this the jank way and use my nippers to open this little package. And here we go. That does make sense though. Oh my god, the little like, I don't know how much you can tell in the detail, but this is a really beautiful like piece. I love the gold color, and like there's like slightly different, there's like a different like there's like a little bit in the middle over here that's like a different gold, and it's so pretty. And yeah, I'm having a very fun time with I've been having a really fun time with the perfect grade unicorn. I hope you will also have fun like I am right now, even though this is my, I don't know, if have you built a perfect grade before? I mean, I'm assuming you've probably built a lot of Gundam, but you know, I don't know, again, I can't really compare the perfect grade unicorn to other ones, but I've been having a really fun time with this one. Even though I've had some difficulties, as it always does. The kit, I'm planning on kind of going, since I've spent so long working on this perfect grade, which is like high effort, massive kit, which is a lot of fun. But I feel like I kind of want to go in and go in the opposite direction, kind of. And so the next kit I'm probably doing is a real grade of a model kit from a non-Gundam series. It's also from it's still made, like, actually I'm not too sure. I think it is a high grade. I think it is a high grade. but it's a really cool looking kit that's kind of like a high grade from it's kind of like a high grade from a non-Gundam series. And I just thought it looked cool. And so it's probably not, it's gonna be significantly less intense than a unicorn, than the perfect grade unicorn. But, you know, I think that's fun. And so, yeah, my plans are to kind of just like cool down with a simpler kit, and then is to cool down with a simpler kit, and then move on to the next one. Ooh, that sounds really cool. Oh, that sounds so cool. I really do want to try like more more like custom building and custom painting and stuff. I always think it's so cool when people like when you like do stuff like that on a really amazing. Oh man, that is kind of insane. See, that's like the thing. I feel like I'd be afraid to like custom build, like do any sort of custom building, probably because of like my my experience. Have I would be really afraid to do custom building on like a kit that's like a perfect grade, just because they're so expensive. And I don't know how much I trust myself quite yet. Yeah, that is cheaper than the unicorn, but that's still a price tag. Hmm, that sounds so cool though. I would definitely, if I ever get to, love to make another perfect grade. Man. Yeah, that would be so much fun to like try like custom build with one of these things. Oh man. Yeah. This unicorn that I'm building right now will be used for display in the store. So obviously this one I'm not really gonna like do too much with it. It's I mean I'm probably gonna I'm still considering panel lining it, but that's probably the extent of like cosmetic changes I will make to it. Hello. Okay. Okay. This one, and then you take this side. Yeah, you take this side, and then where did... Ah, yeah. Makes sense. It seems like it's been a huge hassle to get... There's a lot of things that have just been in, like, shipment limbo. Because honestly, even... There's a lot of other kits that I've seen, like... Just, you know, not be... Mm. That does make sense. But I feel like I barely... I barely know how to custom build, so I feel like I would rather build, like, a better... I feel like I would like to try, you know, practicing with, like, custom builds and stuff like that a little bit. Like, I am nowhere at a level where I'm like, I could take commissions or anything like that, but that does make sense if I ever get to that level of skill. Oh, okay. If it is possible someday, that definitely seems like a lot of fun, and I would love to do that at some point. Though it probably would not be until like further. It probably wouldn't be until like a further point in time. Oh yeah, I see where the little like... Yeah. I see where the little like... Okay, does it want me to... I've completed this part of the V-fin, and then I have this part of the V-fin, and I'm not sure. Does it want me to like... I think it wants me to... Oh wait. It goes this way. Because once again, I put a piece in the wrong direction. Okay. We're going to get my tweezers so that it's a nice snug fit. And there we go. And now we attach like so. Maybe? Perhaps, possibly. Because I see like where the magnet is. And I think the magnet is supposed to be on the side. Yes. This one goes this. I believe this one goes this way. Oh, okay, I get it now. I understand now. And this one goes this way. And there's a magnet in there. Yeah. I understand. This is a journey I'm going on myself. If I mess up, that is my own prerogative. That is my own... That is on me. And these two, and then there's the little magnet that's in there, and then I know these two pieces stick together in some way, but I'm currently trying to figure out how. Like, I know they go together in some way, and I think there is the magnet in there too, to make sure they're like together. But these two pieces are also meant to like stick together, I believe, in some way. And so we're gonna try and do that. Yeah, and so here we go. The unicorn horn that becomes the V-fin. Man, it looks so cool. Even just like from the outside when it's white, it still looks really cool. The level of like detail in this thing is so nice. I am really, really happy to have the opportunity to work on a perfect grade. I've never done that before. Spin it. Honestly, I will try just about anything. I'm just worried about damaging it if I spin it too much. Oh, I think that's stuck on there. There we have it. The unicorn horn. Ooh. One moment, I am receiving a call that I have to answer. I will be back in a moment. I apologize for the interruption. Okay, I am back. I'm sorry for the interruption, but I am back now. Oh. 175 is not that. Oh, that's pretty good. Oof, that is very expensive, but it is the nature of is it one of those things that you can only get as like a resale? Hmm. Ah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense as to why it's more expensive. Or like, I guess, would it be harder to find? Um, I love all the natural light just deciding to leave. I have my external light too, but it's an alright external light that is usually much overpowered by like I get most of my lighting from natural light. Like it gets very much overpowered by my natural lighting. And when I yeah. Yeah, like right now, I actually already have the next three kits planned out to build. Like I already have them. I already have them. But going into the future, like I am absolutely like willing to take suggestions or anything like that. Like right now it's kind of just mostly based off of what I feel what I feel like doing. But and also like what we're able to obtain. Ooh, like like the UV black lights. That sounds like it would look cool as hell. I love these little bits of green plastic that are in here. Just like it reminds me of one of my like favorite gimmick. I think my favorite gimmick kit is still the 7-Eleven unicorn. The unicorn is like actually one of my favorite Gundam, which I know is terrible considering I never even finished the original anime. But the unicorn is probably one of my favorite Gundam. And I just like I don't something about the 7-Eleven Gundam collab. I love it so much. I really I want the high grade 7-Eleven unicorn where it's green. I want it so bad. And I always keep an eye out for it on like eBay and whatnot because I know it's out there, but it is quite expensive. And someday I want to have someday I want to have a I would want to get one. Ooh, I mean, if it's usually like $300 and you can get it for basically half of that, I would say that's a pretty good deal. Ah, yeah. That sounds fun. To have, like, I haven't gotten to the point where I can get, like, multiples of a kit and do, like, different things with them. I'm still very early in my Gundam journey. Like, I have, like, I want to get a, there's a couple different. Linkin Park has a music video with a Sazabi in it? I had no, and a GPO, I had no idea. Another one on the list of collabs I never knew happened. That's kind of sick. I'm probably gonna look that up after this. Ooh. You can get a Linkin Park GPO. That sounds like I love fun collab special edition one things. It just oh, it's his face. Wait. We're gonna try and zoom in a little bit. We're gonna try and zoom in. Oh, that's zooming out. We're gonna try and zoom in a little bit. But it's his face. He's got a face. Ah, the green is also meant to be a little bit. I think there's a sticker that's meant to back this, so it reflects better. I'm gonna read the little instruction thing, because I know you don't necessarily have to do that. Because I'm not sure if it might have to do with like whether or not you use the LEDs. Because I feel like, you know, the stickering would be different if you use the LEDs versus if you don't. But incorporating, yeah. So yeah, that's what I thought. If you're using the LEDs and you don't put the sticker in, stickers to make it reflect, so the light will reflect better. See, this is why sometimes I'm not sure whether or not I even speak English. Gun easy ground type. I will definitely look into that one. I will use my good friend Google. Ah. Gun easy RE100. Okay. And now we build the other part of that piece. Where did I put my end runner? There's my end runner. It goes. Ground type has more part options. Okay. I like having part options. I feel like the customizability is really like, sometimes I like looking at like the mecha. I'm not the biggest fan of like the mecha girl kits, just because sometimes they're kind of awkward to look at, but I really do like the amount of options you get in some of them. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. That's kind of what I like about, one of the things I like about like the Ava kit. I feel like the real grade, like Unit 01, has a lot you can do with it. I always like when there's a lot of options. You know, more than like the standard beam saber and gun combo. And just like customizable bits. Like I know there are some kits that you can have like that have like removable helmets or like armor pieces and things like that you can choose, like kind of mix and choose which ones you want to include and which ones you don't. I always think that's fun. Yeah, I'll definitely look into those. I thank you for the suggestion. As always, I really love getting like suggestions, both as like for the stream and also just like as someone personally who's still kind of newer to the Gundam experience. Like, I think I've mentioned this before. I've done other model kits and whatnot for a while, but I haven't gotten into Gundam until like the past year or so. Yeah, I think it's only been like the past year or so that I've really gotten into Gundam. Yeah. It sounds fun. Yeah, let me look up let me see what it looks like. Ground, I'll look up the ground type. Oh! Yeah, this is a cool kit. I like this one. This one looks sick. I like the, I mean, are the colors different for, I see a few different, like, color gradations of it, but I actually am a huge fan of, like, the color scheme of the ground type one. Figurize or flame toys. I like some of the, I've been looking at some of the Figurize kits. I haven't looked too much at Oh, I see what your plan is. You just don't want you just want to decrease the competition in Gundam. Oh, I see. I'm still gonna do Gundam. I still quite enjoy Gundam. Yeah. Yeah, I saw a couple different ones. Yeah, there's a few cool like color schemes for it though. Personally, I actually quite enjoy the brown color scheme. I think there's one of the IBO kits that has like a really cool brown color scheme that I also quite enjoyed. Gun blaster and roll. Oh yeah. It looks like just on like Google when I look up the gun easy. There's a lot of different options and things. There's a lot of different versions of it. But that'll be cool to kind of figure out which one I would like to do, or if I would like to do multiple of them. Yeah, the Gujin Rebake, that's the one. I really love the Gujin Rebake. Is one of like a really unique color scheme. I don't know if it's unique, but like I don't know. I don't see that many like tan white and orangish color schemes, and I quite like that one. I was actually when I was looking for Gundam, when I was looking for kits to do after I finished the perfect grade, when I was looking for kits to do after this one, the Gujin Rebake is actually one of the ones that I wanted to get, that I was trying to find, but alas, it was out of stock. The pre-order just ended, and I'm like, oh well. Guess I'll die. But I do still like the kit that we ended up settling on to do next, because I wanted to have like one high grade, you know? I wanted to have a high grade in there. Oh, the full city. I like the full city one. Honestly, if I find it online, I might just like buy it. If I can find it online, I might just like buy it for myself. I might still do it on stream. I'm not sure if I can find it. Aw, is there something wrong with the full city? I like the full city because I like the colors. Aw, that's sad if the full city is a bad kit. I just really like the colors. Yeah. I know there's a few like mandatory builds. I know the MG Barbados has been like it's the MG Barbados has been like pretty at like the top of my list for a while. Again, it's also one that I tried to get for the stream, but you know, just due to like manufacturing shipping holdups and whatnot, I wasn't able to get it. But definitely, if we are able to, definitely like in the future, I would absolutely like do the Barbados is probably pretty up there in like builds I would like to do in the nearish future. And I've also heard a lot of good things about the real grade, the Hainu, the Sazabi, definitely. I've heard a lot of mixed things about Verka kits. I know some of them are good and some of them are not as good. I didn't know there's a Verka for the Sazabi though. Posture. Important. My spine. Making sure my spine is okay. And I appreciate the concern. Aw, man. That makes me sad that the full city is sticker heavy. That's kind of disappointing. I mean, the regular rebake is still really nice though. But yeah, I know there are some Verka kits are better than others. I'm just not fully sure which ones, because there's some that look really cool, like, okay. I get it. I understand. Yeah, honestly, again, Unicorn is definitely one of my favorite Gundam. I really would like to get the Banshee Norn, and I've looked at the Verka. I've looked at the Verka for the Banshee. I don't know. I know there's like a million versions of the Banshee Norn, but I've seen the I would probably want to get like a master grade or something of the Banshee Norn Unicorn, and I've heard mixed things about the Verka. Oh, rest in peace. The poor Verka Sazabi. Yeah. I know I've heard mixed reviews about like the master grade Banshee Norn. Yeah, I've heard a lot. Like most of the reviews I've seen about it are like it looks really cool, but the quality is kind of not there. The real grade, honestly, yeah, I probably would get the real grade. I want the bigger scale. I like the idea of having the bigger scale, but I can see how it can go wrong. Some kits, some models are just bricks. You know, some are just meant to sit there. Aw, man. You know, I think maybe the ideal way to display your Verakasasabi is to just lay it down. It's a laying down it's a laying down kit. He just wants to take a nap. You know? He just wants to take a nap. Maybe some Gundam are not meant to stand. Maybe he's just old. He needs hip surgery. Yeah, that is pretty rough though. I feel like I know some people really care about like the movability of their kits. And I can understand why. I know that's like a criteria that matters. That matters to some people, but personally, if I feel like I'm a little bit more of like an aesthetics person. Of course I want like a build to be fun, but I am a little bit more tolerant of like, yeah, I'm a little bit more tolerant of like a build that probably isn't as like stable or as movable, but if it looks cooler, I'm a little bit more willing to put up with that. Of course, I do have like a limit. I feel like if a kit, yeah, I feel like if a kit is not able to even like, yeah, I feel like if a kid is not even able to like stand on its own, that's pretty rough. I feel like that's about where I would draw my line of like, yeah, there are some sacrifices I'm willing to make. There's some sacrifices I'm willing to make for like a kit's for kit's durability as long as it looks cool. But if it can't even stand, that's a little questionable, I will say. The H, yeah, there are some that like sitting down probably seems like it would look pretty lame. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if flight stands are pointless. I feel like there are some ways in which they can be beneficial, but it's very particular. I feel like there's very few contexts in which I feel like they would even be necessary or they would improve anything. What's it? The Juaku is the one that's like got the big elephant trunk, right? That's the elephant trunk one. That one is, if it is that one, I think that one also looks kind of goofy, but in a fun way. But in a fun way. And I can also see how it would look really strange if it were to sit down. I'm not sure if that piece is, if that kid is, if that Gundam is meant to be sat down. It has, yeah, it's the one with the trunk. It looks goofy. I do like that one. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking of like the way the like Wing Zero as one that definitely needs an action base. I think another one actually Zeta, yeah. There's one that I built myself not recently, a little bit while ago. I think I've mentioned it before. It's one of the newer. It's one of the newer build. What's the newer series? It's like not Build Divers. It's the one that goes after Build Divers. One of those mashup kits. It's the Barbatoris. I would say Barbatoris also really needs one, even though it has 4 legs. Even though it's a 4-legged Barbados, I would most definitely recommend a definitely one that would need one, just because like that's one of those that kit is actually one of those kits that like I'm willing to sacrifice some functionality for aesthetics, because like the middle joint that connects the back legs to the front legs, yeah, it's breaker battle log, that's the one. Like, the joint that connects the front legs and the back legs is kind of garbage. It really doesn't like to stay together, and trying to balance it and pose it in a way Rodeo Barbie, yeah, it really is Rodeo Barbie. Like, trying to pose it in a way that like balance it in any way and pose it in a way that looks nice is really difficult. I had to get like an action base for it, and once I got an action base for it, I was able to do like a lot of, you can actually like pose it and do stuff without worrying about the center joint like disintegrating if you move it a little bit too much. But otherwise, I think it's a fun kit. Otherwise, it looks really cool, and even though, you know, it's kind of difficult to handle, I would say it's a worthy sacrifice for me, just because I love the four-legged unicorn. It looks really silly, but also really cool. And I'm like, sure, if the middle joint wants to disintegrate, if you touch it, if you like move it at anything more than a 15-degree angle, I'll live with that. I got it in action base. It's okay now. But yeah, I feel like, oh yeah, I've seen some of the Strike Freedom ones that also like, yeah, most of the posing I see for that is with an action base. I think it's possible to do it without one, probably, but like, it's not like the Endless Waltz Wing Unicorn, where it's like, no, I said unicorn, Wing Gundam, where I'm not sure how you pose that without one. Well, I know you can, but like, it just looks better. But Wing Gundam, I feel like those ones would look pretty cool with action bases. But I feel like most kits should at least be able to stand on their own without like a base, or else it really has to look cool for it to be worth it, and there has to be like you know what? Everything is secretly a unicorn. In my brain, it is. Unfortunately, there are some filters, some language filters, but I do understand the sentiment that it is very difficult, very difficult to pose. That some of those kits are probably quite difficult to pose without an action base. Yeah, I think most of the time I've seen a you know, just for fun. I bought a couple action bases, because when I got the action base because I was buying an action base for the Barbatorus, as I mentioned earlier. But I ended up buying like a few action bases just because I don't know. I was like, what if I need another one? I'm ordering it once. I don't want to have to pay for shipping multiple times if I can just buy a couple of them like right now. So I have a couple more action bases, and I'm just like kind of wondering what I want to do with them. We'll see. We'll see. I think they're all meant for 1/44th scales. Ooh. That sounds cool. And I just do B7. Yeah, I think what I'm probably gonna start with custom painting is kind of just adding metallic accents to armor. That's kind of what I did with That's kind of what I did. I got just to kind of dip my toe into just painting, because this is just with paint, like traditional paintbrush painting. I'm still not a huge fan of markers. I still, even if I'm not doing airbrush painting, I prefer using a paintbrush. I just feel like there's more control with that. I think eventually I'd like to do airbrush painting. If I can obtain the apparatus, basically an airbrush, if I can obtain the apparatus for spray painting, I would absolutely love to try that. I have some plans for the future. Actually, I might as well just... There's a kit that I actually have that was just mentioned earlier. The, what's it? Which one was it? Ooh, yeah. But basically, there's a kit that I have that I'm planning to do on stream at a later time that I really would like to custom paint. I feel like it's got a lot of potential, and I'm not the biggest fan of the original colors. And I want to custom paint it. And I think that would be a good place to like start my journey with like with spray painting, with airbrush painting. Yeah, if the store has some good ones, you know, maybe this summer it's gonna be time for me to learn. Yeah. It was actually just mentioned earlier, the Wing Gundam, the Endless Waltz Wing Gundam. Because it's got the massive wings and it looks really nice, and I love the look of this kit, but my hot take is that I'm not the biggest fan. I feel like the colors are just a little bit too saturated. Like, it's got a very elegant design, but the colors are very like I feel like are just too saturated for my taste. And I just think there's a lot of custom painting potential. Like I've seen a lot of like really amazing custom paints with the Endless Waltz Wing Gundam. Yeah. I've seen quite a few. I've been looking at quite a few tutorials for for airbrush painting. Wait, I already took this. I already took the piece from this one. I need this one. Yeah. I move on to inner panels and then go outwards, and I'm very excited. I will definitely be looking at a lot of tutorials, definitely be experimenting quite a bit. But hopefully, if things work out, I would love to get, if I could, I would love to like get an airbrush and start trying that out again. Not sure how the logistics of that would work on stream, but I could probably figure something out, because I know it's not I know it's not good to I know. I know. I like the listen. I like the gaudy ones. I feel like I'm a very big aesthetics person. I like extravagance. I like extravagance. It's just who I am. I mean, not. I mean, it's bad to say always. I don't know. It's my personal taste. I like the extra. I like being extra and extravagant. 5-star stories. Okay. I will definitely. Ooh. That's cool. Yeah. I'll definitely look it up then. Now that I finally have like free time, I'm once again happy to take lots of suggestions on things. Now that I actually have time to check things out, I'm very happy. I actually, man, despite it being finals, if you remember Star Driver. Ah. Oh. That's cool. MG MS Zaku. Okay. We're just gonna Google that one, see what it looks like. Oh, it does look fancy. Ah, that's cool. I'll definitely look into it. I'm really glad that I'm like, man, it's so nice. It's so nice to have free time. When someone recommends something to me, I can actually go look at it. I say this even though I read like all of Chainsaw Man in like the past 2 weeks. Well, it's not like Chainsaw Man is super long, but I did finish Chainsaw Man. I actually started Chainsaw Man like a while ago. It was recommended to me like a good chunk of time ago, and I started reading it, and I really liked it, but I had to stop because I just didn't have time. I know. I really liked Chainsaw Man. I really liked Chainsaw Man. It was really fun, and I'm super excited for the anime. It's being done by Madhouse. I know, I trust Madhouse. I hope they don't. I looked at the trailer. It looks really nice. I'm very excited for the Chainsaw Man anime, and I'm also like, I'm not gonna lie, I love the Chainsaw Man manga. The manga is really good. Don't get me wrong, but there's just like a lot of the fight scenes in the manga are just gonna. I just feel it that I know it's gonna look. So it's just gonna look so good in animate, if it's animated well. Really? I'm kind of surprised. I feel like Chainsaw Man Chainsaw Man is like one of those things that's like there's always it doesn't get really boring, you know? It doesn't seem like it gets you can kind of just like it's not one of those series because I've read some that are like, "Oh no, it's slow at first, you know, just trust it, you know, it'll get better." I don't think Chainsaw Man's like that. It's pretty crazy right off the bat. It doesn't really lose steam at any point. If anything, it increases steam as it gets further. So I feel like for me, I started reading Chainsaw Man like a while ago, and I had to drop it like for a little bit. Not that I wanted to drop it, I just didn't have time. And so I stopped reading it for a while. I think I was like 10. I was not that far into it. I was like at the beginning when I had to stop reading it. And then I think I like reading. One of the things I like to do to kind of like cool down and decompress at the end of the day is to read manga. And I was like, you know what? Let's just pick like a couple weeks ago. I was like, you know what? Let's try again with Chainsaw Man. It's real good, and a different manga that I like was going on hiatus, and so I was like, well, guess we're gonna read Chainsaw Man. And then I proceeded to binge read Chainsaw Man. I finished the rest of it within like the next week. Within like the next week I just finished it, and I was like, that was really good. And so I'm kind of surprised. I feel like once you get hooked by it, you cannot stop. It's not really a slow manga. Anyway, as you can see, these are all the pieces of the head. We finished assembling. Oh, and the horn, and the V-fin unicorn horn have all been assembled. The next step is to just do the LEDs and put it all together. Which will be done next week. It's about that time to wrap up, so I think we're gonna wrap up about now that all the pieces are... Oh, yeah. Actually, wait, that makes a lot of sense to zoom in. Look, here are all the assembled head pieces, and it'll form the head. He's got a face. He's got all these other little bits. he's got a unicorn horn, and it'll form the head. Man, I totally feel when I have time, like I say used to as if I don't do this anymore. I would like start reading an anime because usually what I would do is I would like read manga in bed because that's probably why I read more manga these days than I watch anime because like I could read manga anywhere. And so one of the things I would do quite often is I would read manga in bed like while I'm trying to get to sleep. And I know it's bad for you, you're not supposed to do that, but I still did it anyway. And sometimes, if I'm not careful, I'll like start reading something or I'll be like catching up on something and I accidentally read. I just sit there and I keep reading until like 4 or 5 in the morning and I'm like 100 chapters in and I'm like, what have I done? It's a struggle. It really is. But I didn't do that with Chainsaw Man actually. Chainsaw Man, I paced myself a little bit better. I kind of just read it in between whenever I had like free time, because I was also quite busy these past 2 weeks. Whenever I had like a little bit of free time, I would just read Chainsaw Man. Or if I was like multitasking something else, I would read Chainsaw Man, and it was really fun. And that's how I finished it within like a week, even though I've been really busy. But I have actual free time now. My semester's done. I can do whatever I want now. And yeah. It's about that time. Thank you all. It's about that time to wrap up. Thank you all for tuning in. It was really fun. As always, I'll see you guys next week to finish the head. And he will be done. And I'll form the head. Voltron will be complete. It's gonna be time. And thank you. I hope you all have a really good week. Don't forget to check out Feedback Loop on Tuesday evenings, and if you want to watch the VODs for this stream, they'll be up on our YouTube on Wednesday. Have a wonderful day, and thank you.